Hey guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back to my channel. I try to make videos on my autism experience as the main one and other things too. Well, today I want to talk about something about my book. Guess what? I got my 50 copies in today for me to sell personally, and this is a better version of my book than the original version was. The original version of it looked not good, and I'm so much happier with this size now. This is the paperback, and it is $16.99 on Amazon, and the hardback is $37.99 on Amazon, and I think they may have lowered the price from $3.99 to $2.99 for an ebook on Amazon, but this is what the price is on all of the major booksellers. I haven't seen it at Walmart lately. At least it's not in any Walmart stores. I mean, I was at Walmart last week and I didn't see it there. So, but the last time I checked, it was on Walmart.com for $40. And for those of you that use Walmart, don't pay $40 for it. So hopefully I can sell these copies of the book that I got in today, and I'm gonna try to order a set of them every month. And I'm gonna sign them too. So the copies I have right now, I can't really sell them because I don't have them priced yet and I don't have them autographed. So I'm gonna have to get a little gizmo to get them priced. So hopefully I can get it done sometime this week. My uncle has a store, and hopefully I can use his store and go down there to the gizmos in his store to price my books with. So that's that. And if you want to order it from the company is Exlibris. It's exlibris.com, and the name of the book is called Lipstick and Autism by me, Lauren Ratcliffe. I'm the author of it, and the subtitle is Not All Days Are Rosy and Pink. So I think that I want to read to you guys a few excerpts from my book by Lauren Ratcliffe. This is my book. Lipstick and Autism is its name. Not All Days Are Rosy and Pink. See, this is the back of it with a picture of me and the company that ordered it, the publisher, and its ISBN number and all that. My picture on the back of it. So here goes. I'm going to read you the back of it, and I think I'm going to read some excerpts of it. I'm really proud of my book. Yay, it's here. Autism is the fastest growing and most common developmental disorder. Imagine the frustration and anxiety overtaking your child to a team of medical specialists to be told that they have a lifelong and often debilitating developmental disorder with no cure and limited treatment options. Lauren's parents knew something was different about her from the time she was an infant, but as she entered kindergarten in the fall of 1986, her differences were very obvious to everyone around her as compared to other children her age. A few months later, in early 1987, Lauren's parents took her to see a team of pediatric specialists, and it was then confirmed that she had an incurable and lifelong disorder, then known as pervasive developmental disorder, and was later diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome when it was listed in diagnostic criteria. Today, that would be known as autism spectrum disorder, classified as level 1 to 3 based on the type and severity of the disorder. Like so many other parents with special needs children, Lauren's parents faced many trials and tribulations with treatment options, including health insurance costs, limited yet very expensive treatment options that did not always work, and dealing with people who oftentimes misunderstood Lauren. When Lauren was a young child growing up in the 1980s and 90s in a rural area in eastern Kentucky, little was known about the autism spectrum in general, let alone the high-functioning type of the disorder that Lauren has. Because of this, Lauren often felt stigmatized for her condition, in addition to feeling isolated and alone. Like many others with autism spectrum disorders, Lauren has faced her fair share of challenging symptoms, and in this book, she shares her personal experience with high-functioning autism and how it has impacted her life. In this memoir book written by Lauren firsthand about her entire life, she explains what it was like to live with autism spectrum disorder from a personal perspective and hopes to also educate others about the condition and erase the stigma associated with the disorder. I think I'm going to read a few more excerpts from it. At least the part on where I face corporal punishment in 2nd grade. Because that needs to stop. And why am I sharing my story in my book, you know, especially about me experiencing corporal punishment? I disagree with that. That is wrong. That is counterproductive. There's much more effective ways of dealing with your kid with autism than facing corporal punishment. I was, and I'm sharing my story and helping others. It frustrates me how people are dealing with autism with kids still nowadays, and it's not a rare disorder. It is stigmatized so much. I feel like it is compared to other conditions, and we need to stop that, and that's one of the reasons I wrote this book. I'm going there right now, and I'm almost there. So, alright. Well, alright, I think I made it. My corporal punishment. Okay, here we go. So this is it, chapter 6, my excerpt, the most important one. The previous principal took a new job, and a new principal had taken over. During the fall of 1988, my 2nd grade teacher was pregnant with her son, and she took maternity leave during late September through mid-November of that year. We had a substitute teacher for that period. Our substitute teacher was the primary substitute teacher for the entire school, and by that point, she had gotten to know me well enough to know my needs. There was a particular day that I was crying uncontrollably, and she sent me to the principal's office in hopes of trying to calm me down, because it normally helped me. I spent the entire day in the principal's office. While in the principal's office, I received a paddling for crying so much, which only made my reaction worse. Punishment for my meltdowns has always been counterproductive. I was given a lecture by the principal explaining how she felt like my behavior was wrong. I never told my parents about the paddling, but I never told them about anything specific. I just answered yes or no when they asked if I cried that day. That night, getting in the bathtub, Mom saw the bruises on my bottom. "Honey," said Mom in a calm but well-meaning voice, "you have to find a way to control your crying. Daddy and I love you very much and want you to be happy. It makes us feel sad when you are upset. Lacey also loves you very much too. You make other people worry about you. When you cry like that, you disturb the other kids in your class." When I went back to school the following day and repeated another day in the principal's office at school, Mom went to work feeling tired from lack of sleep and feeling frustrated and worried about me, struggling to contain her composure and focus on taking care of her patients. Mom confided in Dr. Singh whenever possible on that day about what happened to me. During the next several days, Mom tried to remain calm about my punishment despite feeling very upset about it. The rest of the family was very upset about it too. Lacey was too young at the time to understand all this. I never told anything to anyone about school. A week later, I had another doctor appointment with another specialist for an unrelated problem. At the time, Mom took the day off from work, just like she always did whenever I had one of my many appointments. We drove to Dr. Singh's office that morning before heading to my appointment. Dr. Singh always went to the hospital to see patients during the morning hours or did work in his office and saw patients in the office in the afternoon hours. When we got to Dr. Singh's office, I stayed with his secretary and she gave me lots of stuff to draw pictures on while Mom talked with Dr. Singh privately about my punishment by the school principal while gathering my medical records for my afternoon appointment and to discuss options for local mental health referrals. While waiting on Mom, I was content to color and draw pictures because I liked art anyway and was good at art. About a month or so earlier, I drew an entire map of the United States. And I'm sorry if I hurt someone's feelings, but we must stop punishing kids for stuff that they can't control. Would you want to punish kids for having a reaction to a food that they couldn't eat or that they wanted to eat? Probably not. You know, you would probably want to make the environment as safe as possible for someone that did have a food allergy. And we need to think about that with kids with autism spectrum disorders too, because it's just a different type of disorder. I want to read the section and symptoms. Symptoms of HFA plus benefits and tips. Now remember, I'm not a doctor, and if you have any medical questions, you really need to consult your doctor. This book is not meant to substitute medical counseling or psychological, whichever one you all go. It's meant to supplement, and I wanted to share my experience in helping other people, but not diagnosing them or treating them, because I'm just a patient like you guys are. Here are some examples of symptoms associated with high-functioning autism / Asperger's syndrome. Poor eye contact, odd walking gait, clumsiness, poor coordination, and poor fine motor skills. Number 4, poor posture. 5, does not handle disappointment. 6, hyper or hyposensitivity to lights, sounds, texture, smells, etc. 7, talking too loud or too low when speaking. 8, intense interest in a particular subject area to the point where they will talk about it nonstop and fixate on the topic. 9, inability to give and take in a friendship or relationship. 10, inability to relate to others and poor social skills. 11, poor emotional control, usually referred to as meltdowns. 12, anxiety over changes in routine. 13, anxiety and depression symptoms. 14, inability to understand sarcasm. This means that they believe everything that they see, hear, or read about from others. 15, difficulty with processing information when given instructions, working on academic tasks, etc., despite normal to above average intelligence. 16, low self-esteem and self-confidence. 17, hyper or hyposensitivity to pain. 18, feeling emotional over things that most people would recover from. 19, fatigue that sometimes gets misunderstood as laziness. This can overlap with shutdowns. 20, sleeping issues. 21, staring at other people if they found something interesting. This is considered to be rude. 22, shutdowns if they are tired, stressed, etc. if there is no meltdown. This means tuning out everything in their surroundings for a certain period of time. 23, repetitive motions. What are some examples of the good traits of people with Asperger's syndrome / HFA? Number 1, honesty. Number 2, they stand up for what they are passionate about. Number 3, they are non-judgmental. Number 4, they are honest about everything and will never pretend about anything even when upset. Number 5, social status is not always important. Number 6, they have good attention to detail, good at memorizing details and facts. Normal people do not have this ability. I used to be told that I have a photographic memory. I am also really good at memorizing facts. Number 7, if given the chance, they can succeed. They already have the determination that the average person has to work to attain, but find it difficult to complete anything that they do not like. Number 8, I learned from health class in high school and from several other resources that kids with mental illness and low self-esteem are at higher risk than other kids for making poor decisions, drug abuse, unwanted pregnancies, etc. I'm a firm believer that this is not entirely true. Number 9, they are very naive. Number 10, if they are angry or upset, they will never try to bully, gossip, or lie to get back at someone. Despite uncontrollable emotions with self-injury stemming and uncontrollable rage with crying, they usually don't lash out rude remarks at others. They always tell the truth, even when they are upset. 11, they are just as happy to be alone as they are with people. 12, they are very loyal and trustworthy. 13, they are highly intelligent despite having academic learning disorders and trouble keeping jobs. 14, though it's a lifelong disorder and symptoms may intensify at times, it will not worsen over time like many other chronic conditions. Many people learn to adjust and deal with symptoms with maturity. And here's another one that I want to read at the end of my section about symptoms and dealing with autism. I have come up with a term that I have described as behavior shaming. Behavior shaming refers to judging a person whose actions and feelings are out of the norm for a particular society or situation. We live in a society that often shames people for how they act or how they look. The term for judging someone who is too fat or too skinny is called body shaming. It is considered rude if we tell someone that they look too fat or too thin. Most people do not get into trouble for judging a child or an adult with autism for having a meltdown, and I feel like this is discrimination. Behavior shaming based on my personal experience does not work for disciplining a person with any form of autism. It always made me feel worse about myself, and feeling bad about myself worsened or caused meltdowns. I have observed that people on the spectrum tend to be judged unmercifully as compared to those with other conditions. Albinism is common among people with any form of autism, and I have experienced it at many times in my life. This is not included in the book, but what is albinism? Albinism is a term that refers to shaming people with disabilities. Autistic children from wealthy families are often viewed as spoiled rotten because they have a meltdown, and kids from lower socioeconomic backgrounds are viewed as abused or neglected by their parents. Blessed is the person who keeps on going when times are hard. After they have gone through hard times, this person will receive a crown. The crown is life itself. The Lord has promised it to those who love him. James 1:12 NIRV. Although high-functioning autism has a list of symptoms and certain criteria have to be met to get a diagnosis, the disorder affects each person differently. Some people may have all the symptoms and some may only have a few of the symptoms. Some people may be affected by certain symptoms worse than others. Autism also shares some of the same traits as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, and Tourette syndrome. These disorders are also comorbid disorders of autism. Some of the most successful people on the planet were diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder or suspected to have it. Some examples include Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, Elon Musk, the creator of Tesla, Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. We know Apple in this case does not mean fruit, it means iPhones. This is a phrase from Temple Grandin that I would like to use, and she is right. If we didn't have autism, we would still be living in caves. Temple Grandin. Here is a phrase that I made up myself about autistic people. If we didn't have autism, we would not have iPhones. My quote. Lacey told me one day after one of her many speeches at our local annual autism walk that I was the pioneer of high-functioning autism for our area. Lacey has told me in the past that she thought that I had high-functioning autism for a reason, and that she genuinely hated it from me, that I had to suffer from this disorder. If you feel that you or a loved one has an autism spectrum disorder, please seek advice from a qualified medical or psychological provider and work with them to find the best treatment for you or your child/spouse. The goal of any treatment plan for autism spectrum disorders should be to help the person to be more functionable, not to make them more socially acceptable. The goal of this book was to teach others about what I learned based on my experiences with autism spectrum disorder and how to supplement other therapies in addition to traditional medical or psychological treatment. All right, guys, that's it. My book should be available on most other book retailers, definitely Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Walmart, and hopefully more. So, and of course the publisher's website, which is Ex Libris. So if you guys have any questions, just drop them down in the comments below and I will do my best to answer it. And remember, please be nice in the comments, or otherwise I'll delete it and report you. Thanks, bye.